Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm realBluTV, and I'm joined with Fawn. And now we have the semifinals. We just got done watching
Yeah.
a quarterfinals matchup where Hefty Lobster took down Games Awful in a reverse sweep. I don't like usually saying that when it's best of three because it's only 3 games, and 1-0 doesn't seem like a fitting lead to be reverse swept on. But hey, that's exactly what happened. They won the King of the Hill game number 2, and then they won their demolition in game 3 on Favelas. So they move on and game's awful. Well, your game looked awful there as you were the
Yeah.
losers. But hey, we're going to our semifinals matchup now between Takerss and Vibes999. And these rosters, of course, ton of players we've seen before. Once again, we've got Prefire, Hizzy, Joker, and Diaz coming in for Takerss. Meanwhile, on the other side, Fawn, for Vibes, we've got Chapo, Losi, Turner, and a new player we've never seen before in Proco. So what are you expecting from these two teams before we get into the series, or before we get into what you're thinking between these two teams? Let's go ahead and take a look at the series layout so we can add some more to your analysis there when we start talking about these maps. And oh my goodness, Lockdown looks like a Van Gogh picture. That is scary. We're going to demolition on Lockdown. I wouldn't want to go to
That is
Lockdown
a
because it's a
that is a
prison.
screenshot out of a horror game.
Yeah,
That's what it
now that
looks
I
like.
see that, I definitely do not want to ever visit Lockdown. Game number 2 will be on Glacier.
Yikes.
That one looks kind of like a elevator shaft, I guess. That I would
It kind
never
of
think
does.
that was I wouldn't think that was a ship looking at that picture. And then we're going to Windward if necessary for game number 3. The Windward one just reminds me of like a picture you would see from like Van
That,
Gogh
that
or
that
something.
I mean, that looks like a tourist attraction, right? Like when you look at Windward, because like I imagine that's like a shop that you get things from when you're going to go visit
It's
on
definitely a
vacation.
tourist attraction for adults. It is a bar.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You're right. I mean, this is interesting, man. Now that you mentioned the fact that Lockdown looks terrifying, now I can't get it out of my head. It literally looks like it literally looks like a horror game screenshot. I mean, that's hey,
I am so
I don't
scared
know.
of that picture. The
Taker
other
versus
ones
Vibes
just make me
99.
think differently, but that one is whew. But anyways,
That
hey,
was
we're
pretty
going to
spooky.
Lockdown game number 1. We know the rosters. We know it's a semifinal. What are you thinking there, Fawn? What are you thinking between these two teams? You got Takerss and you got Vibes.
Mm. So one of the things it is that's been like really interesting is the fact that when they played during Qualifier 3, Qualifier 2 didn't quite do as hot. Qualifier 3, which obviously is this qualifier, they've already beaten 3 different teams so far. They've definitely brought their A game here. They lost in what I believe is the second round during their second qualifier when they were actually playing. And all the ones it is that they've played this week, it seems like they've brought their A game here. Like they have won multiple games. They're moving in on Takerss to try and see if they can fight this. But Takerss has had a bit of a rough streak. Not gonna lie to you. They've lost a couple qualifiers here and there. They lost, I believe, the free the free entry 4v4 demolition tournament. It was a little bit harder for them to try and fight through that. Didn't quite do too well on that. Qualifier 1 and 2. 2 was just a straight up loss. Qualifier 1, they won one and then they lost one. But this week also, they sort of been bringing their A game. It's kind of hard to say, honestly, Blue. I mean, this is two teams that have had like previously rough weeks before in the past, and now they're showing up this week. And what a time to show up, honestly. Like kind of last minute, but at the same time, it's important that you put your best foot forward in this case. I think that's so scary to see from either team, to see that much improvement over the weeks. And I gotta be honest with you. Like typically, you would ask me these questions, and I will have one to pick. I don't know for this one. I just genuinely don't. Both these teams seem to improve so much.
Well, the game is starting, and while we're hopping into that, I mean, Takerss, 4 players that had continuously show up in these 10Ks. On the other side, though, Losi, one of the players that I like to watch play, but he always ends up falling short here in the qualifiers most of the time. But we'll see if that
Mm-hmm.
changes with Chop on his side. And also Turner, someone I haven't seen play the game in not a long time, but it's been quite a while. And then, of course, nice to see what this new guy in Proco can do themselves. So we'll see how that team works out. Starting off on the attacking side will be Vibes, and starting off on the defensive side will be Takerss. We're here on Lockdown. Let's see what these compositions are going to have come through. I don't know if the
for right now.
bands came through. We'll see.
Yeah, that actually is a good question. That's a
What
good
the
question,
bands
actually.
were. They were Switchblade and Kestrel for game number 1.
So Switchblade is sort of stepping up to be a more
In the
consistent band, not just on
demolition side,
Strikeout.
yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. Not just on Strikeout, not just on King of the Hill. But we're talking more of demolition side of things now. And I think that makes her that probably just means that people, once again, know something that we don't. Because on paper, things can look devastating. But sometimes the devastation is more so easily felt through game. And sometimes paper doesn't do it justice. And vice versa, you know. So Switchblade being banned out again on a demolition map here, people feel like she has lots of versatility. And I think that's I think that's definitely scary to have on a newer operator. But also it could just be the fact that people just aren't used to playing against her, you know. And some people could just be worried about having that unfamiliarity catching them by surprise. But we see here that with Lockdown, you have two different types of intel as well. You got Talon and you got Seeker intel. Once again, always important no matter what tactical shooter you play in.
Always important, but what's really the deciding factor, Talon on Lockdown has become sort of a staple. We've even seen some on this map, not even just because you had a good Talon player on the opposition, but because of what he brings to the table when it comes to Lockdown. So we will see him on both sides to start off the first half here in game number 1. It's Vibes versus Takerss in our first semifinals matchup of qualifier number 3. Shots coming out, trying to take out the Talon dart very early on there. There is a Seeker for the attacking side for that secondary sort of intel character. On the other side, they match their fixer, Talon, and Dahlia, but instead of the Seeker, of course, being on the defensive side, they're going to bring out the Anvil. When will the smokes come out? Well, there comes one. Turner finds pre-fire. And now some more shots coming out and pushing through red is Losi. He finds the Anvil. That's important. 3 members down and out for the defense. Only the fixer alive, and he was watching the garage door in mid, which means sight is free. They'll plant the bomb. They'll set up. Seeker arrow comes through. I don't think that revealed them, but they know exactly what's happening. He's trying to make a rotation through the attacking side of the map.
Yeah, then clearly, like you said, they're already set up to know that that's the case, right? The minute he swings his corner, yeah, he's not going to be able to quite outplay him in this scenario. They do get the first round here on the side of Vibes, 999. And I think that is just more so that situation snowballing out of control. Once they got that first pick, everything started going crazy because of the fact that they had that numbers advantage. And this is kind of scary to see how quickly they were able to adapt to that change. Because sometimes even still, people play a little bit more passively, depending on the characters it is they're going up against, depending on the rogues it is they're fighting against, and the players as well. But they full sent after that first pick, and that is huge to be able to see a team do that so cohesively. And to do that again, and if that's just the type of momentum they have, they are momentum players like that, then you have to be scared of. You have to respect it.
This time, kind of faking towards that B site, using a lot of their, or not a lot of their util, but kind of wasting some reveals coming out from the defensive side. Smokes onto the A site, going behind short barrier now, and arming that bomb is Fixer. So they will get it planted. They lead 1-0 after a successful plant, and a couple kills came their way very early in that first round. Now, Goggles being popped by Roco. Maybe a little bit too early. Maybe just the noise from it forcing the defense back as the rest of the attackers get set up for this hold. Flashbang comes through. Nice shot on the pre-fire. Wasn't enough. Backs him up. They have the Anvil ready. He's trying to get in place with the shield. And now here he comes, but he gets taken out too quickly. Roco and Chapo combined to take out Hizzy. No Anvil in play. They're going to have to do this straight up. Joker trying to make a play behind, but that won't work out as well. Everything's falling apart for the defense here as Diaz goes down long distance. I don't know who Roco is, but 2 downs, 4 assists through 2 rounds. He's putting up nice numbers as the fixer for his entry into the rogue scene.
There's not a single kill on the opposite team. There's literally not one found. They have started the cash. They have started off with 11,500 cash. They are now proceeding to the third round with 11,500 cash. Once again, this is what I was saying. This is why I was mentioning the fact that the momentum-based teams like this are scary. They get that lead. That post plant is unreal. They plant that bomb, you can bet your sorry butt that they're going to use every opportunity to play post plant. And the weird thing is that it's like they get the bomb down, but then they don't just sit there and rest. If they get that pick, they push forward, despite the bomb already being down, you know? They aren't afraid to do that. They'll take more aggressive angles. They'll slowly choke out the opposing side. And I think that's so scary to be able to go up against. And like I've said before, we're seeing this happen. It's a matter of can they slow it down? On the side of Takerss.
Nice shots coming in. Roco finds Hizzy. He found Joker. He went down, and then he gets picked up by the Dahlia link. Losi helping out as well, finding one himself. Only one member standing for the defense again, and it is Diaz. This time he isn't in mid. Finishes off Chapo. I don't think that's going to be enough, however. He sees all three with the ability to see that through those thermal goggles, but he's hiding behind middle console there, and that is not where you want to be. It's 3-0 so far. Vibes, they are vibing. In full control of this match, it looks like. Only one down for Diaz and Pre-Fire through those 3 rounds. It's not looking good. Only one of those was actually eliminated too, and it was the one we just seen.
Right. I think that this is like I mentioned before, you gotta find a way to stall out that momentum. And it's so weird because you have Anvil on your side, right? On the side of Takerss. That you would think that's a great character at stopping momentum. But they play so quickly that it's hard to get adapted in time. I think that's what Takerss aren't ready for. I think that poses such a huge issue for Takerss as a whole, excuse me. Because of the fact that they aren't able to slow them down at all. It doesn't feel that way. Look at how far back they're playing here. They have to play so far back and just wait for rotations for the most part. Wait for them to try and push forward, see if they get a little bit more overzealous on their rotations, but they still lose that fight. Diaz goes down and gets eliminated.
Yeah, and speaking of Takerss, they're not looking too good here, but I mean, throughout these qualifiers, they pretty much have the same story as Hefty Lobster, losing to teams that make it to the finals. Qualifier number 1, they lost to the team that ended up winning it, which was Cute Hamster. Qualifier number 2, they lost to a grand finalist. Can't remember off the top of my head who that was. Also, I was on vacation, so I definitely won't be able to recall that there for a moment. It was whoever the homies beat, I can tell you that. Hi, Donkey. All right, well, CMG generated name for the win. I can't tell what's happening, but it looks like a garage door is being opened and closed here. Joker being shown through the thermals. He can't see through the smoke, but Roco can. Finishes him off, and oh my goodness. It is 4-0, and Roco, way to make an entrance here.
Yeah, I don't. What do you say about that? GG, go next. I mean, I don't. Like, it feels so oppressive. The fact that they're able to play so cohesively together, not only as a momentum team, but as a team that slowly, like, sort of chokes you out, sort of keeps you from proceeding forward. Because of the fact that it seems like every time you get some sort of advantage, they take it. I've never seen these guys take a one-on-one fight before. It's just been them as a team fighting individual people. But I've never seen them fight alone. I've yet to see an actual 1v1. And a lot of the time, it's provided from help from through different angles. They realize they're not there, and they have to head off and rotate. But I think they might even be able to get the bomb down before it's too late. Diaz gets shot at. The smoke goes out, and I'm concerned if I'm them. Smoke goes out once again. There's no way to really counter that smoke, even though they have the fixer. They're able to get the bomb down planted so efficiently.
Yeah, but do you really want to pop that defensive thermal for the double smoke coming out from Dahlia, knowing that only one person is going to be crossing into that smoke? But, of course, it is the bomb carrier, so if you can catch them through it, and get them before they get the bomb down. They end up dropping that bomb. Smoke coming out in hallway now to the left. Thermals being popped from Roco. Bomb will be planted, and that's what I was mentioning. Can you get them down before the bomb gets planted? That way you can take the bomb out of their hands. Pelosi gets taken out by Diaz. The bomb was planted, however, even just in time as they took out the first member. Smoke is still up for the time being, and that allows them to get the shield down. Roco finds Hizzy, but Diaz returns with the C4. Chapo finishes off pre-fires, and now it's looking good for the defense. They might be able to get one on the board here, and they do just that as the defuse comes through. Nice job from Diaz picking up some more downs. 5 to his name now, and still only 1 for pre-fire and 0 for Hizzy and Joker, but they did exactly what they needed to do. Joker needs to throw the smokes and keep Anvil alive, and Anvil needs to plant that shield. Worked out perfectly that round. Only took 5.
Yeah, I definitely think that there is that's how you play that. And I'm so glad you mentioned that, Blue, about them being able to get the bomb down. Can you get it? Can you get the kill while they're getting the bomb down? And I think that's a huge portion of how they were able to take that round. Sure, they got the bomb down, but they had a numbers deficiency as soon as the bomb was planted. Once again, they have fixtures on both sides of the map, on both teams. So you have to be careful when you're playing around these smokes and relying on them too much, because if you do, then Diaz on the fixer is going to tear you apart. And we saw that happen. So have to be a little bit more concerned, I would assume.
Town Dart coming on the right side of Seeker on your screen currently, being Chapo. I don't think we've really seen him play Seeker that much in the past. He was mainly the Vi insta-lock, especially when she was so strong in that meta. Turner does take out Hizzy. They finish him off. That was the Dahlia Link trying to come through onto him. Roco trying to find another one. Can't finish him off. He's chasing him down. Free Fire stuck behind the wall. Has 2 members shooting at him and now shooting through mid. One more member. Diaz hiding behind. Roco just downed himself with the C4. I think it might have clipped on the side of the wall there. But still, the round goes in favor of the attackers. 5-1 they lead. We're going into the final round of this half. Fawn, what is happening to the defense? Is it just because it's lockdown? We know it's an attack-heavy map, and that's what we're seeing, but or is it something else?
I feel like it's the momentum, because even when things are either attack or defensive sided, it's very rare that you see times where people just don't get kills, where people don't frag out, people aren't able to stop that. And I think their cohesiveness, because I've used that word a lot, I genuinely think that cohesiveness as a unit, that cohesiveness as a team, makes them so much more different. Like I said, I'm never seeing them take these one-on fights. I'm never seeing them take these engagements that might end up with a negative impact on things. For the most part, they're doing well with pushing and taking bomb site, and it's making it that much worse for their enemies, because the fact that once, like I said, I keep repeating because it's so important they do this. Every time they get that pick, they don't care if the bomb's planted. They'll push, and they're not afraid to do that, and that catches a lot of people off guard. It's hard to get, it's best not to get caught up in the motions like that, but he misses those shots and whiffs. He doesn't find that down on pre-fire.
They can also kind of just have reveals on both sides. C4 being thrown at each other. Turner found one. Turner finds a second. Nice job to take out that C4. Nice grenade comes through, and then they just walk it down and find both of them. Roco putting up some more numbers there with the help of Losi as well. 10 assists for Turner. He's doing work with that radar dart most of the time. 6-1 going to the half. Vibes looking to close this out pretty convincingly and quickly. Remember, Takerss, they're the ones who have lost the teams that go to the finals, just like Hefty Lobster. And just like Hefty Lobster, they're not, I mean, they can, I don't want to speak too soon, but they're not looking good in game number 1 here.
First half being 6-1 is definitely not how anybody expects their matches to go. But to repeat, offense, except for the change here, the chalk, it's what's going to be locked in on the opposing side. I feel like that might help them try and counteract. So here's the thing, right? I was talking about the momentum I was talking about that opportunistic gameplay it is that Vibes have. However, can they seem to adapt that style onto the defensive side? Because that is what happens. You have to be careful when you do that. You literally have to be so afraid if they can adapt that style to the better to the opposite side of the map, to when they have a different objective, when they have a different mindset. Have to stop them from playing the bomb or play post plant well, and they already got one down and a kill. My goodness, man! Like, it's hard for even Prefire to make it in, especially when they keep getting trades like that. That's what I'm talking about, man. They don't take these fights one-on-one. They will swing together. They're not afraid to do that.
Well, they are swinging together and super successfully here. Even on the defensive side, they are getting a little aggressive. Almost look like they're the attackers at this point. Roco finds Joker with another one, and it is just Roco all over the kill feed, whether he's helping finish off kills or get downs himself. He leads the way now 7-1, and they're on the brink of ending this in only 9 rounds.
Yeah, this is a quick sort of dust your hands off kind of game, you know. I mean, this just seems like a team diff this first game. I mean, like, obviously they can like adapt and make things go better for them next time. So I'm not going to count Takerss out in its entirety. But sometimes in some sets and some games, it's hard to retake that momentum. So sometimes you literally, as BM as it sounds and as BM as it gets used, GG Go Next can literally be an application here in literally any competitive play. Like, sometimes you just have to worry about the next match, because sometimes things can be decided like this. It's hard to snatch that momentum back. They won one round, but I don't even think that was really something they were able to take advantage of. And Izzy goes down. Prefire again. My goodness, man. They are all over him.
Yeah, they're just swarming around like vultures on their prey at the moment. They did drop the bomb, however, from the attacking side. Yep. That's due to them going down. Turner finds Diaz with a bounce nade. Also, when the new update came out, I was highly confused when this bounce nade kind of got a little different look, a little different artwork for it now, and it was kind of confusing to me. But I like the new change. You don't have to put that arrow next to it in the kill feed now. You can kind of just know what it is. And speaking of what it is,
oh man, whoa!
It is Joker,
Joker
time, brother. Yes,
looking
1v4.
Cool, I see you.
Last round, and strong.
I see you, fam. I see you. That's not easy. That was an ace. Did all that by himself. Strong, independent teammate. Don't need no help.
Yes.
I see you, fam. I see you. I see you. Well played, honestly.
Well, the Joker just went in there and robbed the bank. 4 kills. He just got the 4K that round when it was not looking good. He extends this game another round. See if the rest of his team can work off of that. A little bit of morale boost possibly. See if they can build off of that. A lot of work still to do, but hey, you can only win 1 round at a time, so take it slow. They move towards that A site. A couple shots coming out from Joker onto Roco. Roco's looking like he's winning that fight. 32 health for Joker, and he has to back up. Now he finds 2 nice shots on the Roco.
Oh.
They finish off Chapo as well. Good teamwork from Highlight as well, or excuse me, Highlight from Chalk as well. Getting used to seeing Highlight in that position, and then he jumps over Hizzy. It is on that Chalk this time around. Now it's just Anvil all alone, and now the attack's starting to look good from the side of Takerss. Bomb comes out, shield goes down, but it's nowhere near the bomb on the A side. He's fighting for his life. Did find 1 knock, but it's not enough. 2 other members staring the barrel down at Anvil. He finally goes down. 7-3 though. Attempting to claw their way back, Fawn.
Yeah, this is definitely the momentum seems to be shifting. I mean, Takerss have done well with making sure that they've stopped them on their needlessly aggressive play style. Even though it worked for Vibes so well all the way up until this point, I wonder if this is the start of Takerss realizing how they need to play, if they need to sort of counteract this aggression, this momentum-heavy team. Because if they win this round, it might just be download complete. I mean, I might just be. I got to be honest with you. It might just be download complete. Might just be curtains for him, you know. So they break that automatically, and they're just playing back. They force Vibes to sort of just play back. That they're not going to try and push forward.
Playing a little bit more slowly on the defensive side. Doesn't want to overcommit in hallway. And oh my goodness, Chapo lasering Hizzy. Bomb did go down, however. Or got planted. To be more precise in wording. On that A site towards the wall. Going up into towers. Dahlia can't make it safely up there. She will end up falling. Joker playing in luggage. Losi starting to push in. Joker did find Losi and another. 2 go down, but Joker finally falls to Turner, and it's just Seeker alone on the attacking side. Finds Roco. There is hope. And just as I say that, Chapo takes the zip up and finds it. Turner was on the defuse. That's the game.
Okay. Okay. They yeah. 8-3, the final score line, the final slash line for this very, very first match. I think that this is so... That was such a... Not only was it a quick match, but that is so scary if that's just the type of team it is that Vibes999 are, you know? If Vibes999 are truly like that, if they're just a momentum-heavy team, if they can play that consistent aggression and not be afraid to go in, just like how they were on lockdown, this might be a quick set. It depends. It depends entirely on Prefire's team. It depends entirely on how they're going to try and adapt on the side of Takerss, honestly, because it didn't feel like they had a time to adapt. They won 2 rounds. They won 3 rounds. And it just did not go as expected. And I think that's so scary to have to worry about 9 times out of 10.
Super scary indeed. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replays from game number 1, where Vibes were able to take down Takerss 8-3. And oh my, okay, well, here we go. Here's the replays. I like the new graphic we have for the transition into them as well. I like that. Screaming replays across the screen. Chapo finding some good picks. But what really impressed me, the guy we've never seen play before, at least myself, only 4-1 on CMG, so I know he's newer to the CMG, unless it's someone who just made a new account. But Roco making some plays out there on the fixer time after time, both on offense and defense. So great job to him. There's Joker, also on the fixer, making some plays on the Deadeye. Fond, they did not look as comfortable on defense at all, not even offense. I mean, they did take 2 on attack, but still, they didn't look as strong. Let's take a look at our layout. Going game number 2 will be Glacier, King of the Hill. I know everyone's favorite map nowadays is Glacier, especially on King of the Hill, where the D objective is underneath in the basement, and it is just pure chaos. The bans did come through for this one as well. Fixer and Kestrel will not be available. So you know what that means, baby. Yes, sir, Fawn. You guessed it. Switchblade
is
might be able to get some Chaos Launcher, might be able to get some Anarchy. I don't know if you guys noticed, her little in-game icon is the Anarchy symbol. So could get some craziness up here in game number 2. What are you thinking, Fawn?
Well, I definitely think that Glacier is a good map for that to be the case. You know, I think it is a great map to see the Switchblade. I hope we see the Switchblade. That's what I think. I think that we should see the Switchblade. We haven't seen it. I want to see it. I think it's an amazing character to watch. I think it is so crazy. And that Chaos Launcher is something to be feared. There's a reason why she was banned so consistently on demo and not banned this time around. So maybe things will change. Maybe it will change things up a little bit if we end up seeing her drafted here. But the Kestrel and the Fixer here, personally for me, Fixer may be a strong character, but I don't believe that he has value on every single map. And I think Glacier is one of those maps where that's not as true. Because of the fact that I don't think he's worth the ban. I would be more concerned about Anvil on this map than I would be Fixer, in my personal opinion. I don't think that Fixer will get a lot of value out of this, even with his other rifle. I don't think that it's a ban it is that I necessarily agree with. The Kestrel I completely understand. You have the extra cash. It's always crazy to be able to have that extra economy, those extra credits in your back pocket. So it means a lot when things go that way. But even still, you have to be more careful of her drones. You have to be more careful of her guns. It's a scary character, but not as scary as somebody like Switchblade. I really do hope we see her. I really hope we see her.
Chalk in your, I think you dumped the chalk in this this composition here on Glacier. And I think you go Switchblade, Dima,
okay,
Vi,
okay,
and then Anvil.
Oh, the Switchblade.
Gotta get the Anvil in there, man.
We're gonna see the Switchblade, baby. It's the new character.
Oh,
she's left.
We are gonna see the Switchblade coming out. Losi on one side and Hizzy on the other side. We'll be bringing it out. I can't remember her name, but she was one of the first on when they were developing this game. She was on the panel at the last HRX in 2019. Oh my goodness, so long ago because of COVID. But she was on the panel. She kind of looks like, or Switchblade kind of looks like her. Her hair and just like the vibe she gives off. Like I'm an anarchist.
Yeah, we worked.
You know who I'm talking about because you know the devs.
Yes,
we both know the devs. She works on Smite now.
Oh my goodness, I can't remember her name. We worked HRX.
I can't remember her name either. I only
met
her
so long ago. COVID literally just sucks you into a time capsule. Like I literally don't. I'm always confused on what day.
But you know what I'm talking about. That's who Switchblade kind of reminds me of. That kind of like just that vibe, the way they look, you know, and the hair looks just awesome.
Yeah. I think I do know who it is that you're referring to.
I'd shout her out, but I don't remember her name. But anyways, we're going into game number 2. And it's looking like we could see some craziness. This Chalk does come out. We will see some Lancers as well. Oh, I forgot all about Lancer. So I still think you go with the Anvil, especially with that bottom sight in the basement. But, hey, we'll see how this goes. Look at this. Rocket launcher already out, 75 damage, and then the Incense comes out. But Diaz finds a double with the Semtex. He says, I'm going to beat you to the punch. If I'm dying to fire, I'm going to throw this at your face.
They managed to get the trades, too. What a quick point for Takerss. 16 points available to him and still climbing. Have to find some sort of way to try and retake this. Flash goes out, but they roll away, try to escape. They get Switchblade down, and the Vibe Poison goes out. That Chalk might be in a little bit of a bad spot, but he escapes with no HP despite everything. The enemy controls the hill. You're darn right they do, because I don't know how you try to make this comeback at all. They're pushing for it. Okay, this is aggression now. This is pure aggression. They're not afraid. They're not even going for the next point. Wait, who's on the next point? Is anybody on the next point? There's one person on the next point. Okay, because I was like, are they just running at them? Is that just what's happening? And that's what was happening.
It did for a moment look like they were just a stampede of cattle coming right at the little sheep in their way, but doesn't necessarily work out to their benefit. Now starting to fight over this second objective. 55 seconds left on it as well, and it is still a onslaught here from Takerss, and this kind of looks like what we just watched in our quarterfinals matchup. Losi finds one with the help of that launcher, finds a second with the 24S. Our other primary is the Mark IV, the assault rifle that you can use with Saint, but he's electing to use that SMG in his hand, the same one being carried by 2 Lancers in this game as well. And one Lancer starting to sneak up behind, that being Diaz. Can he find the shots on the Losi? Yes, he can. That will finally help him get onto the objective and start to soak up more time for his team. 72 and counting. Meanwhile, Vibes finally made some plays. They were able to get 19 points, but still down by 60.
And he gets tossed out. They take care of Pre-Fire. They take care of Joker as well. Hizzy downs Losi. They managed to get that kill, but Chapo cleans things up here. Okay, this might be a different story now. We're talking about a situation where there's 1 minute left, and they have plenty of control on the side of Vibes Vibes 999s to make this work for them. But Takerss are doing so well with playing these retakes on this objective.
Joker did find Roco, and now they're fighting for superiority. At the bottom in the submarine basement, Turner finds one with the Incen, finds one with the SLC, and then that gets finished off. So he's starting to make some plays for his team out there. But look at the score. Domination.
Yeah.
More like it instead of King of the Hill or Hardpoint. If you're a COD player, you know exactly what the spawn traps look like in Dom. And that's what it's looking like here. Being controlled on the objective as well. C4, I think that might have stuck him. Finds Chapo. Hizzy finds Losi. Roco and Turner fall shortly after. Body's getting shot here. Picking up some new weapons as well. Trading out the secondaries for some more primaries. Reloading everything. Getting ready for this next wave of vibes to come through. And I can tell you one thing. The vibes are not looking good here in King of the Hill as they are getting slaughtered. 140 to 25. 10 seconds left to finish this off uncontested. And they're going to get 5 of them for free. Make that 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to round 2 with Takerss in the lead. 1-0.
Wow. I mean, clinical, quick, precise. They made their way onto so many different sites and won the fight so many different times that it's just overall not only a great look for Takerss in this next game, but an even better seemingly understanding of how they need to play against Vibes999 because of the fact of them playing against Vibes. How the very first match went, it was a stomp. This match is looking like how Vibes treated Takerss last game. And since that's the case, this information is important for how they don't handle when the ball's in their court for game 3. What could be game 3, I mean.
A lot of, oh my goodness, this first objective. First of all, there's not a minute 15 on the first one, only about 55 seconds. And if you're standing in there for about 1 second, you're probably going to die. 5 poisons, incense, rocket launchers that turn into pretty much 3 big pools of fire. You got semtexes, flashbangs, grenades, everything being thrown in this small little area. If you survive, you are truly a warrior destined for greatness. Roco finds Diaz and Turner, helped out by taking out Joker. They finally gain control here, starting to gather some points as well. It's being neutralized, however. Time is getting sucked out of that objective. They'll pick up the garbage time. Actually, no, they won't. They elect to leave and just fight for the next one here.
That's crazy.
Not even 5 seconds. They said, you know what? The 5 points is not really worth it. Let's go fight for this one. Now they're starting to catch up. They will tie it here before this next team fight happens on the objective, if it happens there at all. Turner and Roco getting into the fight, but Turner will fall. Joker coming through, and then Hizzy coming in with the Chaos Launcher to find one. Now it's starting to flip once again. This is the first time Vibes have led in the King of the Hill so far. I mean, it's only been a round in 2 minutes here, but still it is not looking great for Vibes. It's actually looking exactly what we saw in our first matchup. They lost game number 1 and then reverse swept, and it all started off with a very convincing King of the Hill match for themselves.
Wow.
And that could be what we're starting to see here as Takerss give up the site once more.
Talk on the Simtex. Trying to find hits around the corner, but they don't. Chapo goes down. They get the kill. 45 to 36. The next point is spawned, but Takerss are the ones in control of this one. Throws out the Simtex. That's so close, and it doesn't get the kill. It does 81 damage. Roco goes down. He's trying to sneak around, but Aussie ends up getting picked off. Chapo gets at least 1 down for his team, but overall, they've been controlling this objective and playing so aggressive on his King of the Hill map. This is clearly someplace they're comfortable with.
I just want
each other. Wow.
the Dima Switchblade combo, but eventually. I just imagine that chaos in that room when you got a Merv launcher and a Chaos launcher. Speaking of launching themselves into death. is about every member of Takerss here for the moment. They still have the lead. Even when they give up some garbage time, lose the lead, they end up bouncing back with huge 20, 30-point gatherings at once because they just control the objective. Chapo finds Hizzy. His teammates helped him out on the backside as well. And they're already fighting for superiority of that bottom submarine once more. Something that really was successful for them. Turner finds pre-fire.
Oh.
This time it's a different story here. Roco and Turner holding it down in that basement as they find another, pretty much just feeding one by one is Takerss at the moment.
Oh, flashbang goes out, but doesn't matter. Turner clears some good bodies across the stairs. He gets shot at, takes him down. Bossy with the double nade knockdown with the one kill and then the grenade on the other. That's crazy. That is the presence that Switchblade brings to the table, as it now seems that Takerss have, ironically enough, and what you would expect them to do, take over this hill and play a beautiful retake game against Vibes. Vibes now have to make it back on. They literally have one more chance for this round, or the match point goes straight to Takerss.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, with Switchblade, when we played with her in
wait a minute.
PTS and other things, I
Oh,
thought
wait a
maybe it would
minute.
just be a shock and all type of thing. But hey, she's actually
OT.
pretty good, especially in maps like this on Respawn. But yes, like you said, wait a minute. Turner finds another one. Things are starting to heat up here. Only down by 6. It is sudden death. They need to win this to extend this to an overtime.
This was the overtime they needed. 99 to 102. Chapo, everyone gets cleared out. They take the site at the last minute and make sure that they catch this dub for this round. That's going to be Vibes' point. We're tied at a 1-1 on King of the Hill. This is currently match point for Vibes and game point for Takerss. Excuse me, set point for Vibes. Not match point. It is match point, but set point to move on. And this is match point for Takerss. For them to tie.
It's game and match point. The match is the best of 3. It's not tennis. We don't gotta go to sets.
Well, hey, listen. I am bringing up some fighting game lingo as well. It is a.
It's okay.
set
On my
when we're
vacation,
talking
I
about
watched
this.
I watched the UEFA Cup. You know, I watched Italy win. I watched the Italian in the tennis match, even though he lost.
Oh, I can't see anything.
First time he made a triple
my
kill.
Goodness.
Oh my goodness, Diaz! That's like the 3rd round in a row where he just gets a double or this time a triple with the Semtex. You got to worry about everything else I listed off at the beginning of the last round in that room.
I can't see. Please.
I can't see. It's okay.
Yeah, this is not. This is. Oh
I hate
goodness,
getting
3
flashbangs
kills
when
already.
I'm a caster. You think that you're
Yeah.
safe when you're a caster, but you're still getting flashbanged in Road Company, and it's just might as well play at that point. Pass me the controller. Roco finds one. Hizzy getting chased down, finally goes down. Chapo and Turner working together to finish that one off. Look at the score, 45-0 for the side of Takerss. They do not want to lose this round. They want to extend it. They want to push a game 3.
Oh, he killed himself. Joker killed himself with the Semtex. But they still clear them out. They still win that, man.
Little suicide bomber there. He knew he was going down, so he took one with him. 52-6.
So crazy,
Within all of that craziness, they were able to grab 6 points for the side of Vibes, but still not looking good for them. Look at the creep coming in from downstairs from Pre-Fire. Nice chaos launcher coming through. Pre-Fire did find Roco. Roco
wasn't ready for the stairs.
Right before that, he got picked up or respawned quick enough because he came back fine. Chapo. Kills are still coming through for the side of red. It is all red in the kill feed. It is all red on the scoreboard as well. Still gaining some points. 20 seconds left on that objective. Hizzy's kind of slacking there, jumping out a window, looking in the wrong direction. Roco was able to win that one, and Vibes down by 80 plus points at this point.
Yeah, this is a looking real spooky for Vibes right now. It's hard for them to sort of fight right now. The momentum that Takerss has had on these respawn maps, it's clearly their playthrough. This is their story. We're just living in it right now. Lossy with the rocket launcher, chaos launcher is going to be enough though. But they get rid of Chapo. They're swinging on everybody. They have to play just as aggressive, and that's what I think they've realized, that this is the counterplay here, right? They want to push forward. They want to try to get these kills, and they manage to get one in the back. They get Roco. They get Lossy. And
they had to win that fight.
So
had to finish off that kill there, just so the spawns wouldn't flip against their advantage that they had. I don't know if it's working out for the other side. However, 29, so they did score 23 points off this objective. But Vibes still no chance, it's looking like. 106 and climbing for the side of Takerss. Roco finds another Joker. Also finds Chapo. Roco falls. Hizzy the only one falling for the side of Red in the time being. 110 to 30. Couldn't even get more than 4 seconds of garbage time. Now starting to move towards the submarine underneath. And all of the damage is coming out. Roco still able to win a gunfight even with the incense in his face. Not able to see. Poison's coming out as well. Turner helping him out. And this is exactly what happened in the last round. They were losing, but not by as much. And they started to gain control of this last objective. They held it for a good while, but the retake in sudden death took them out of contention.
Yeah, this is the story here, though. If they can hold on for a little bit longer. Chapo, Turner, wait a minute, Blue. They have to hold on for so long, but it's looking pretty easy right now in the submarine.
If they hold this perfectly here, they'll probably have about 70 or 80, somewhere in the high 70s, low 80s. Which means they'll only be about 20 or 30 points down, maybe some change. They're going to have to hold in sudden death for about, I'd say, 40 seconds.
Oh, would they lose?
Unless someone's playing a little game with them called just neutralize, so that they can't gain as many points within the timer as they can.
This ain't possible, man.
Like I
They throw it around the corner. They use the smoke as well, but they're pushing through that smoke though. That's gonna be so scary for them. They come out pre-firing. They come out swinging. Hizzy manages to get 2, or he kills his own teammate. Actually, that's not even him. He just killed Diaz.
Yeah.
So wait,
I was gonna say
they have so much time still. But this is looking more and more doable, Blue, the more this goes on.
21 seconds. Yeah, they needed 21 seconds now to win. A little bit less, since I said that a few seconds ago. Starting to come in. Diaz finds Roco. Chapo went down as well. This might be the end. Only 12 seconds, and that is it.
Oh my goodness, man.
They're able to clear them out.
Wow. Wow.
We saw Vibes take game number 1, but we see Takerss taking game number 2. First game, well, Losi and his squad were vibing. This game, it's exactly what the name implies, Takerss. And they were able to take their victory that time around. Let's take a look at the replays. Fawn, break it down for us. What happened there for Takerss to be able to be so dominant?
So this was looking a little bit more towards the favor of Takerss for this entire King of the Hill set, because of the fact that it seemed like they were able to play a lot more aggressively. They had respawns at their back, so they weren't too afraid to go in there. They weren't too afraid to dive in, keep the pressure on, keep on going, keep on pushing forward, because they had the respawn to be concerned about. And they were doing an extremely phenomenal job at making sure that not only did they keep control of the objective they were currently on, but also making sure they kept control of the next objective that they were about to push onto. Some of the same sort of momentum shifts that we saw Vibes have last match during their demolition, more so were on the side of Takerss this game. And I think that momentum shift is what truly allowed them to be able to take this game. They were able to play a lot faster. They weren't too worried about their lives. They weren't too worried about them getting stalled out. And because of that being the case, they were able to take the win.
Take the win indeed. We are going to our second game 3 today already, and it's only our second match on the broadcast. I told you we might be in for a late night. As teams
Yeah.
get better, the games get longer, which
Yep.
means the days get longer. Game 3, we're going to another demolition. It will be on Windward. Takerss winning game number 2, 2-1, their scoreline in that King of the Hill. Will it be a repeat of what we saw in our first matchup, where the team that wins the King of the Hill forces game 3 and ends up winning it? Hey, who knows? Although in this case, they did not look as good as the first matchup we saw in game number 1 when it was an 8-7. This time an 8-3. But hey, maybe they just aren't good on lockdown. Maybe they're just better on Windward, and that's what they knew was going to happen. We'll see. That's where we're headed. Fawn, predictions?
If Switchblade doesn't get banned out this time, she definitely is going to get picked again. We saw how effective she was. That's my prediction. So considering the fact of how effective she was during that respawn game mode, I imagine she gets banned out this time. I don't think they let her through again. Anvil on this map has also been proven to be extremely powerful, and so I'm assuming the two bans are Anvil, Switchblade, because I feel like Windward is one of those maps where she can be super effective with it, and really be scary in terms of how that fight can go. In terms of how a lot of those mids are. We saw her get banned on Demolition. They clearly feel like that's a problem. So if that's the case, I imagine they ban her again. And we saw how powerful that was. So that Chaos launcher was huge. So I definitely would be pretty concerned if I were them, honestly. So I imagine an Anvil ban. I imagine a Switchblade ban.
Okay, I was checking all of our channels to see if the bans were in there
same.
already, but they're asking now to see. Kestrel will be one of the bans. The other team is still deciding. So we won't see a Kestrel here in our demolition on Windward. I'm watching the screen here. I'm like the stock market tickers.
Right.
waiting for the answer.
Yeah.
Waiting to see what happens here. All right, no one's typing anymore. Someone was typing there for a moment, but they're no longer typing. So Kestrel being one of the bands. So, Fawn, let's look at this here. 8-3 Vibes win game number 1, but then Takerss end up winning 2-1, and pretty convincingly in the rounds that they did win there. It was a battle even in the round that they lost. Who do you think is the bigger upset between these two teams on Windward?
That's a great question. I generally think that the more we look at these two teams beforehand, I personally, I think that I think that Takerss have personally more to prove here. In the previous qualifiers, they didn't quite make it too much. One of those qualifiers they lost to the very first qualifier of this month. They lost to Lagger. Sorry, not lost to Lagger. They won against Lagger, and then lost to Just Us Roco. They lost to High Donkey the second qualifier. And during the $20 free entry 4v4, they lost 3 games in a row. As opposed to Vibes, where Vibes has had their set of losses. They've only, as far as I know, in terms of their history, they've only played on the second qualifier, but they've lost one against High Donkey as well, just like Takerss did. But in qualifier 3, they've done extremely well, just like Takerss has. So with that being the case, I personally believe Takerss has more at stake here to sort of deal with it. But I believe the bans just came in. The bans here are actually Fixer and Kestrel.
Fixer. Yeah.
For map 3. So no Anvil, no Anvil ban, no Switchblade ban, which is weird because it was so effective on the second map. If they don't pick Switchblade here, then I guess they were just scared of Switchblade on lockdown. That's just what that is. So, but Anvil, I don't quite understand. We've seen Anvil lock down so many points here, especially on a map like Windward. I feel like it's so hard to play retake at times.
I can see Anvil not being banned here just because maybe Fixer provides a lot more on the table for a map like Windward.
True. Is a wider map.
But we are seeing Switchblade come through. I think this might be the first time we see Switchblade on Demolition.
Yes. This is the first time today that we've seen Switchblade on Demolition, because most of the time.
No, I meant overall. Last week.
You mean like in general? Yes. No. Yeah. No, you're correct. Absolutely. This is the first time we've seen her on Demolition, like at all. You're right.
At least on broadcast,
Right.
we can't stat track all of the matches that happen before the broadcast or off the broadcast. So, someone out there is saying, "I played Switchblade in Demolition last week." Hey, that means you weren't on broadcast. We didn't see it. So we're going to have Switchblades on both sides here for our Windward Demolition. We've got Dahlia on both sides as well. For the defense, she's linking to a trench. For the attack, they're linking to a chalk. And then, of course, fourth member for each team will be a seeker. So we have our intel out there. We have our revives coming from Dahlia. We have our chaos being brought to you by Switchblade. And then we got a little difference there, just depending on attack and defense. The aggressive attacking chalk and the defensive-minded trench.
Yeah, this is definitely a more interesting start to how we've seen things go. Typically, playing mostly by mid. Got that launcher. One of them rolls away. So they have intel now. They know on the attacker side, on Taker's side, where everyone's at, where everyone's vibing. And I think that's great intel to be able to find, but almost goes down there. Flashbang goes out. And you have the launcher as well. He's trying to see if he has to clear the corner, but he's pushing so aggressively without his Chaos launcher out, and he's on site by himself. They could just end up flooding site and taking him out. Yeah, Hizzy goes down.
Yeah, Hizzy went down to a grenade. Got finished off. Diaz also gets one with a grenade. The bounce nade onto Losi there. Turner has to back up, however. Joker kind of pushing through into that spawn. He paid for it with his life, but not completely until Losi turns the corner and finishes him off. The defense take round number 1, and that would be Vibes. They just look like the better demo team between these two.
That felt like a communication disconnect for how that very first kill went. Hizzy going down to that nade was crazy. Yeah, like it actually went pretty crazy with how that all went. I mean, he pushes in and ends up dying almost instantly. It's just a rough time, and I feel like that was a sort of a communication error. People just weren't ready for it. So that's unfortunate, but happens to be the break sometimes. So yeah.
This time, playing a little bit differently on the defensive side is Turner. He elects to play a little bit more towards market. Has his Dahlia with him as well, but the Dahlia is still linked to the trench. Trench goes down and gets finished off. Hizzy with the big Chaos launcher. Not able to revive that one there, Dahlia. Off in a different realm as well. Roco finds pre-fire. Chapo finishes him off with the bounce nade, but Roco goes down as well to Hizzy. 3v2 here. The defense starting to fall apart. Bomb still in possession of Switchblade, and they can make a nice rotation towards this A site and get the bomb planted, especially when you take out the Seeker and you are forcing this Switchblade to stay in place.
Right. Not really anything too crazy so far as they're trying to make their way through mid. They have the secret arrow, so he's going to scan it for anything. They know that he's there because he turned around the corner. He gets revealed. No Chaos launcher in his back pocket, so he has to be a little bit more careful. He's checking, seeing for any sort of rotation as he makes his way in, tries to take the firefight, but loses. Diaz takes that kill, takes that game for his team. They tie things up at 1-1.
Good rebound there. Good rebound.
Yeah.
Coming in a little hot for the attackers there, but they were able to finish things off. 5 downs for the team, and they are split 3-2 between Diaz and Hizzy. Pre-fire and Joker. Pretty much just the punching bags at this point. They're getting beat up, but they're staying alive most of the time and allowing their team to do some dirty work from behind them. And it worked that time. That round, they were able to stay alive. They got the job done. forced a nice rotation from themselves, and that forced the defense into positions they did not want to be in, nor did they have anything to help them get out of it. So they ended up paying for it with their lives. Now, Seeker Arrow coming through. Nobody gets revealed from that. Look at Switchblade right in the face. 24S takes out Roco. Hello. Teammates shortly behind him. Still have bomb in their possession. Flashbang comes through. That does connect, but they don't push off of it. Maybe a return flashbang of their own from Joker. Shooting the toes. Looking like a tap dancer. Bomb's going to be planted here. Chapo backing up. Oh, too late. Diaz caught him. Seeker on Seeker action. Losi did find pre-fire. Chapo gets finished off. Only 2 members on the defensive side, and they're both running past the guy. Didn't check that corner. He found one. Didn't confirm the kill, but still enough. And look at this. Oh, my goodness. All right. That's a little absurd. Didn't get both of them. Found one, though. Finished them off as well.
No
Only one member left. And my goodness.
No way does he win that. Stop.
Turner won it. I mean, you say no way, but I'm looking at the opposite here.
Stop.
Well, he will stop.
That's crazy.
The round's over. 2-1.
Oh, that's a tilter.
Vibes lead.
That's a tilter. There's like no way, man. Like, because he engages on the one-on-one firefight towards the tail end of the round and then loses the firefight. Like, oh my goodness, man. Wow. What a clutch for him. What a clutch for him, man. That's so crazy.
Hey, might have bounce back, man. That's one of her perks.
Yeah.
Regen health a little bit faster. Nice little mid-level perk there as well when it comes to pricing. I think it's the third least expensive one behind Toughen Up and Berserker that she has in her kit. She has the bomb in her hands as well. Nice little skin. You get it in the shop. As soon as you unlock her, ladies and gentlemen, you can get that skin right there. You can buy that one. Big trip mine left there as a little gift for her, however. So she gets taken out. She's not linked up either. That's the Chalk. I don't understand why Chalk's not the bomb carrier. Extra health can be used from the Rage. You have the Dahlia linked to him. Link to your bomb carrier. If it's going to be Switchblade, you got to link to her. Plus, when you throw your smokes, you'll have her passive. Now, everything's happening down in the pit. And it's not looking good for anyone not named Joker. He finds 2. Turner goes down to Diaz with the bounce nade once again.
It seems like Chapo is one of the only ones surviving. They have bomb. And he knows they're watching for sure. With a Secret Dart. Manages to get the hit, but it won't matter. They take this round and tie things up 2-2. My goodness, man.
Back and forth. This is close. Again.
This is, yeah.
It's exactly how our game 3 was going from our last matchup, huh? Back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a consistent back and forth, man. It's crazy. it's wild. Gotta be careful.
And the team that won the first round, ended up losing the entire game. So hey, maybe that'll be what happens here. Yeah. Which means the blue team will win this game if you're not keeping track.
Just waiting for another opportunity to try and push in. They're moving mostly towards B site as they try and it's clear once again. Okay, Chalk's the bomb carrier now, so but they don't actually move onto the B site. They throw out the launcher, but they can get picked up immediately. They're standing in the fire. They stood in the fire.
Standing in the fire. As if they are gods themselves.
Oh,
Pre-fire finds one with a grenade. So did Diaz. Chapo finally responds.
Let's try to pick him up. It's a 1v2 now. But this is not going to work out. They take this round. Vibes. They're the ones who take care of that one. Just ends up
Will the
getting
trend continue?
picked up.
Will the attackers win this
Maybe.
next round here and make
Yeah,
it 3-3?
right. Yeah, maybe it will.
I know the defense doesn't want to allow that to happen, but hey, it could happen there.
Good, you're right. You're right. Man, oh man, this is exactly how favelas went, I believe. It was the back and forth, the tie. Then you have the tradition of going like, here's one tie, here's this one, Right, exactly. No, I completely agree with you. That's crazy, man. Both these teams are they're playing their hearts out, man. Like, you can tell this is going back and forth. It seemed sort of open the very first time, and then all of a sudden, like, it all starts going awry, is what it seems like. So, I mean, I don't know. They have to find some sort of way to push in. Lossy does not die, though. They use the launcher and don't end up using the instant as well.
Don't think that was much value out of that. Kind of just shot it at the wall. Oh, Losi with another one. Oh, my goodness. The trip mines coming in clutch. He just... Oh, I thought he got stuck there for a moment. He did end up finding one. Finds a second one onto Turner. Through the back there. Great job. Chapo coming to clean it up from behind as well. It is looking like a trip mine heaven for Losi. He's got 7 downs. 3 of those are from trip mines currently.
Yeah. That is absolutely crazy for that to work that way. 4-2. They did it. They broke tradition. And now here they are in a situation where Vibes has the point lead, 2-point differential, and Takerss are now going to have to try and live up to their namesake and try and take back a couple of these rounds, take back a few of these rounds to see if they can either tie it up or take that lead. It has just felt like when the ball is in Vibes court, when they have that momentum, it's just worked. And that's just how that has been. Sometimes there's no other explanation or analysis other than it do be like that. Like, that's just how it is sometimes. And that's how I feel these matches have been going. But how you end up killing Roco?
Fighting from market, however. They are able to find one. Diaz does get picked back up, however. They find Losi. They find Chapo. They are finding success no matter which way they look. Look at the bounce nade coming out from Izzy. Man, that movement speed off the passive as well.
Defense, stand your ground.
This is so far this is 3-4. So they've done their job. They've made this work for them. They've allowed things to sort of slowly catch back up, make sure that things are going their way. And in all honesty, this seems to be the proper move here. I mean, I liked how they played the last round. They made sure that it went up 3-4 and didn't go 5-2. So that's the case. Hopefully Takerss is waking up, smelling the coffee a little bit, making sure that they don't let this one get snatched away from them like the first game did. The second game was a close one. Definitely a nail biter if you're fans of Takerss or if you're fans of Vibes. And then this one is going the distance too. I mean, me and Blue have been here for a while. But we're here to give you that quality entertainment, that love, that care, that action that you guys are here and searching for. So it's don't mind at all. I mean, this is awesome. I love seeing these sets. They're sick.
I mean, I love watching it too. I just feel bad for the other semifinal because they had to wait this entire time, I believe, because I think that will be our next matchup coming after this pretty shortly. But for the time being, Takerss versus Vibes, they're tied 1-1 in the match. But in this game, it is 4-3 in control by Vibes currently.
That's right for right now.
Couple shots coming out from Chapo. He took the zip towards the A site, or the B site, excuse me. Talon playing in middle. That would be Joker.
Or at least forcing them back a little bit. Making things hard for them to see they can even play on site like that. Since the sites have been swapped, the bomb is in red team's court. They seem to have plenty of control over site, though, but bomb has still not been playing. I believe Glitch is doing that now, since they've cleared out a good amount of space for them. Shots are going through, but they still haven't played the bomb. What is their plan here? Are they trying to rotate their spawn? It seems like that's the case. Are they just going for picks?
No, I think they wanted to push all the way through B, clear truck stop. Now they're just saying, okay, we have full control of the defender side of the map.
Yeah.
Let's just go to A. We'll have control of pit. We can plant for that. Play back very nicely. Nonchalant, kind of original way to play the A site. The glitch is coming through with the hack. Trying to get the bomb planted, but he's being protected by Roco. They cannot break that one open. That's the jar of pickles you hand to the next door neighbor and say, you know what, you can have these. Don't tell me you can't open them.
Gets the flashbang off. Hizzy manages to find one. Lawsuit goes down. Same thing for Turner. Diaz manages to get the final kill on the Turner, and they clear out the rest of the team. They have tied things up. Vibes versus Takerss. This is now a draw game. We're looking at a 4-4 right now. Who will be the one that breaks the tie? What a great retake.
What a beautiful. Well, I mean, if you take Diaz out of the equation, it wouldn't look good for the other side on Takerss. But, oh, man, he's got almost double of Turner. Almost, but still. Top fragger in the game currently. Diaz putting in work. He's got a revive as well. $80,000. He's got a little sizable lead above everyone else on the scoreboard in that department, which means he should have a good amount of his kit in his hands. It's only the second round, but still might have been able to come away with something like a perk. He's got the sticky sensors. He's got a bounce nade. And he's got his primary. He's got some money after one round. He knows they're going to try and make a play through the smoke. I was going to say he was trying to track them. Aura had no reveal off of that, so just kind of blind firing. Diaz did find Turner, however. He found Losi to finish him off with his bounce nade as well. Diaz putting up more numbers on the board here. Meanwhile, Roco starting to make some plays. It's a 1v1 now.
Teammate too.
Diaz versus Roco.
It's that Dolly is special, baby. Picked up their teammate, grabbed the gun. They're heading out. If I were them, I just did.
Grab the gun, grab the bomb.
Yeah, just go to a different site. Go to B. Yeah, I agree. I agree, fam. Just go to B. Let that bomb. Let it go. They're already in a great position. That's a great bomb spot plant too, so.
All right, bomb's been planted. A little 1v1 now. Fake this. Or 1v2, and the team with 2 will win that, especially when they're the ones who get to plant the bomb and just kind of wait it out. 5-4 now. The tie's been broken once again. Fawn, are we going to get another tie after this round, or is Vibes starting to pull away?
Takerss have definitely been putting their best foot forward. They've definitely been tying us up. I imagine it's a tie because of how aggressive and how much they've adapted their style to play against Vibes. It is night and day from how they were playing in the first match to how they were playing now, and I think that they can potentially tie this up. But Vibes, once again, you give them that momentum. You start letting it slip through your fingers like that. You gotta you can't let them have that. They're not even on B. It's just free. It's free real estate. They're just vibing. They're here.
Oh, well, B is usually no man's land when it comes to windward, but now teams starting to rotate there very early on, just like this team in Vibes as they're starting to make some plays. Joker did find Losi with that Deadeye in his hands. That'll kind of stall things out for the moment as they get that revive to come through, which it will. Chapo finds Hizzy and finishes him off. That's where things start to go awry, especially when Roco is winning gunfights like this. He ends up going down to the hands of Diaz, but I don't think that's enough. Bomb still has been planted. Nice shot coming out from Joker. Chapo, Turner in his face, and now on their knees. Bomb still has been picked up. A couple shots onto one member. Moving a little closer, seeing if he can pick anything up in his hands. He will have gotten a smoke grenade, but he's going to try and make some plays. Glitch finds one. He finds the shots. Hello, Joker.
Looking cool,
Ties
Joker.
it up 5-5. Oh, my goodness.
My goodness, man. That is crazy. Wow, they played that to the best of their ability, and they played it well. It's a tie now. That's what I was saying. I imagine they tied this up. I'm being honest with you. Like I said before, I imagine they tie it up. Here's exactly what they did. They tied it.
All right, what's the winning lottery numbers for this week?
It's probably gonna go 7-7, and then it'll go 7-7. But I think that Vibes will end up taking the set. And the reason why I say that is because of the fact that the longer this game goes on, the more it seems like Vibe are slowly but surely adapting their play style. They aren't quite going for the same things anymore. They throw out the nades, but that's already not too good of a look. He can res himself. He's already in a safe enough spot.
I think I know what I'm going to start doing. Anytime a team with a CMG generated name wins the finals of any qualifier or main event, I'm just going to use the last 4 numbers of their team name because it gives them numbers. Play the lottery with those numbers and see what happens.
Hey, man, good luck.
Hizzy,
I mean, maybe
able to finish off Turner. Losi finds another one as well. Hizzy finds Chapo.
That's a huge nade.
It's a 2v2 now. He gets the movement speed as well. It's wore off now, but
it's 2v2.
Making a rotation. They have the bomb in their possession. It's
but they're trying to fake it.
Look at what else is in his hand. It's the iPhone, which means he knows where they are.
They're faking it. They want to go back to B. Oh, but they know that they're there, though. There's 30 seconds left, so they have to commit to some side.
Yeah, like you said, 30 seconds left. You're going to have to pick a side and commit to it. Now they know that the rotation came through. Now the defense seen it. And Roco's in position.
Side, though. Yeah.
They are just so much faster with these rotations, figuring it out as soon as they get the intel that they need.
Oh.
And just like that, 1 man down.
Oh,
2 man down.
They clutched that. They clutched it.
Talking about pre-firing the heads, that's exactly what he just did. 6-5. They tied it up. Now they've taken the lead. 2 away from cleaning this up and getting themselves into the grand finals.
Man, oh man, that is a huge turnaround for how that round seemed to be going. I like the aspect of trying to like swap back, like baiting the rotation. But I think when they do a bait like that, I'm not too sure if they were trying to see if they caught somebody out of position. But I think if you do a rotation like that, you need to be quicker in terms of making sure that you juke the hell out of them. So that way they don't catch on to what it is that you're doing, because there's 30 seconds left. There's not many options you have. You either have to fake or you have to commit. The more time you spend on this fake, the more time you have to worry about committing. And so since they took so long, I think that just ends up, they just ran right through mid. But they genuinely just ran right through mid, actually. Now they're getting hot.
Running
but they have to watch C2.
Mid. This is exactly what happened. Pre-fire finds Losi with the grenade. That'll kind of stall things out for the time being as they get that revive to come through off tree near the A site. Kind of parallel to where that bar usually is. Only 1 minute on the clock here. Defense holding strong, doesn't want to allow any movement. Losi throws the flashbang through mid, but I don't think that's going to catch anyone. Diaz playing in the back of pit. He's got Hizzy there with him as well, but Hizzy's
just waiting.
Set on cannons. Half health, takes him down so low. Chapo escapes. Turner finds Diaz with the rocket launcher, however, finishes him off with his gun in hand.
Pushing though.
Now, some flashbangs coming out. Nice shot from Hizzy.
Man.
He didn't even have the drop, but he still finds the ability to win that gunfight. Turner finds Joker, finishes him off as well. It's a 3v2. Make that a 2v1. The bomb will get planted, and this could give us a 6-6 tie. The revive comes through on the Switchblade by hand because they're not linked. The Dahlia being the other member alive for the defense here. Switchblade's alive on both sides. Instead of a Dahlia, it's a Chalk on that offensive side this time around. Bomb has been planted about 40% through as it reaches that halfway mark. Playing on market is Switchblade being Turner. Finding some shots, but has to reload. Hizzy takes out Chapo. Only one member standing. They're going to try and go for the revive.
They have to push him.
They do have time. Oh, they get the revive, though. Chapo comes through, but it doesn't matter because the two members on defense make it there in time, and then they get the kills, and then they make it back in time for the defuse. 7-5 now.
They've disarmed the bomb.
And, oh, man. That is crazy how this match has been going. 7-5 so far. Vibes, team, this is your last chance to make something work during this qualifier. You guys have the lead. Yeah, you guys had the lead for quite some time, and now it's slipping through your fingers. You have to make this work for you in a way that benefits you guys. I want to see another 7-7. Don't go out like this. Don't do it. But Takerss, you guys have been playing out of your mind. Like I said, it is night and day from how you guys played from the very first time, from the very first game, I mean, to now. Definitely some adaptation. Definitely some smart play going on here. I love the stalwart defense they had. Them just sitting there locking that down is a huge deal. That worked out for them so well. Smoke screen going through, flashbang goes out, and they manage to hit the blind. Rocket launcher follows in. They just push and hit the W key, don't even stop. As they push right on forward. They want to try and go for these kills or swing around. They're looking good right now. They light him up, fill him full of holes. Swiss cheese. It's going to be the next item on the menu. As Joker goes down, the next one, they lose that round. Wait a minute. This is 6-7 now. We got one more round for them to tie it up. I said I want to see it 7-7. It's looking like that.
It's looking like that indeed. We might see a 7-6. Ah, man. It just seems like they were almost there, but that chaos ensued, and the ones walking out from the smoke and ash was, of course, the attackers. This time around, however, the defense, if they can clean it up, they can send themselves into the grand finals. I know they really want to. We talked about it earlier. Takerss, Hefty Lobster. Each week for these qualifiers in the month of July, they've lost to teams that made the finals. When is it their turn? That's exactly what they're asking.
Yeah.
It might be today. Takerss, one round away from doing so. And in the same fashion that Hefty Lobster had to use in their quarterfinals matchup to advance. Lose game 1, wins game 2 and 3.
They gotta wait. They've got to hold on. Both of these teams, this is how you know it's serious. Nobody's made a single move out of their spawn, respectively. Like, neither team. Slowly pushing up, though. I'm trying to see if they can find an opportunity for themselves to create some space. Flashbang goes out as they try and push through mid. So flashbang wasted. Doesn't quite find its mark. No one's there. No one's waiting with open arms. One's playing in mid and one's playing by this back staircase. This is a scary time for either team right now. Like, you hear like a pin drop with how close they're playing. Nay goes out. Doesn't quite get the flash. But they know they're back there, though. Wait, they're so low, though. They get there with a double rocket launcher. Turner finds 2. They use the nade into mid. They fight for sight. Pre-fire gets 1, but it doesn't matter. He goes down. That's going to be 1 man remaining on the side of Takerss. This is a 7-7. This is a 7-7. I said I wanted to see it. This is okay. Okay.
You got your wish. Our second 7-7 game of demolition today already, and we're only in our second match on the broadcast. Those of you just joining, Takerss versus Vibes here in game number 3. It is a best of 3, so the winner of this will make the finals for today's qualifier in the Rogue Company Showdown. Brought to you by CheckmateGaming.com. For the time being, though, Chapo and the rest of his team pushing forward, trying to find a way to end this now.
Yeah,
they are the red team on attack here. 7-7. It is overtime. Throwables coming out back and forth, and just like you said, Fawn, they have sight for pretty much for free at the moment. But taking control of market, I feel like, is more the big deal. Proco finds Diaz, and then was able to finish him off as well. Only 3 members on the defensive side, and they took out Prefire with that big chaos launcher once more. Now only 2 members standing for the defensive side. The bomb is being planted on the B site as well. It is not looking good for Takerss here.
This is 2v4. This is a 2v4 scenario. It is not looking likely right now. Things are becoming more dangerous. Another member gets dropped out of the mix. Now they're looking for Hizzy. They're on the manhunt. This is a comeback. That means Vibes take this 8-7. What was a 7-5 scoreline changed to 8-7 in the blink of an eye. That's their game, and they proceed on to grand finals. My goodness, man. I mean, that was an intense game. An intense game, an intense set. Congratulations to Takerss for doing the best that you possibly could. But Vibes, at the end of the day, were just built diff.
Fun. As we
What's
look
up,
at
man?
these replays, tell me why they're built different. Tell me why Vibes
let's go into
are
it.
vibing their way to the finals for today.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. So for one, we're starting off on lockdown. This is the big thing where I use like momentum 8 million times in a row, chat, because I wanted you guys, the viewers, to understand what I was talking about. You see right here that once they get these kills, whether they have the bomb planted or they don't, that is just the gist of it. That's literally just the gist of it. Every time it was they were actually able to get these kills, it set themselves forward. They were able to push more in, and they played more aggressive. Now, of course, to Joker, congratulations for getting that sick 4K, that ace, that netted you guys that win. But then things started to shift. As soon as we get into Glacier, as soon as we start to get into this map, it seems like this is where Takerss are more comfortable playing. This is some place that they enjoy, that you can tell this is a map that they're used to. But at the same time, it is something that they had in their back pocket, or at least that's what it felt like compared to how the first game went, because this one went so much more the distance as opposed to the very first one. You have a situation like this now where you guys are doing so well, and then we eventually have to get to map 3, right? Glacier goes so well, and then here we are at map 3. We're in a situation now where both teams are going back and forth. It's a tie. It's 1-1. It's 2-2. It's 3-3. Both teams have adapted to each other consistently. But then we get to the faded 7-5 score line. We have a situation right now where things are looking great. They need one more win. There's no need for it to tie. What do? The minute that 7-5 score line hits, that next round comes through, without question, without a shadow of a doubt, they send full forward, no matter what the situation may be, no matter how well the game's not looking for them so far. They hit full send on every single aggressive play they have. Turner gets a double knockdown on the rocket launchers. They push in through mid. They sweep and take control over sites, and they end it instantly. Okay, score is no longer 7-5. We're at 7-6. 7-6 comes around. We're now dealing with a situation where things become a lot more intense, and they manage to clutch it out, squeak by. When it hits 7-7, they have all the momentum they need. They clutch out the win. They just steamroll everybody else that's waiting around corners, and that's just how that went. Vibes do move on to the grand finals. There'll be one of the grand finals teams that move on. We have another match to look at in semifinals.
Yeah, Vibes did take down Takerss 2-1 in our second match for today, being the first semifinal. And now we're heading towards that second semifinal where we're going to see Beefy Magpie versus Hefty Lobster. We saw Lobster play earlier in our broadcast. That was our first matchup, and that was, Siphon, Livin, Bluffus, and Mikey-O Nation. They played tremendous. They were down 0-1 after game 1. That was a 7-7. They went to overtime and lost. Then they win their King of the Hill, and then they win game number 3 as well. That one wasn't as much of a nail biter in that third game, but still, it was pretty convincing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the series layout here and see what maps we're going to. It is the same round, so it is going to be the same map pool here. Lockdown for our Demolition in game 1, and Glacier for King of the Hill in game number 2. And then, of course, if necessary, we're going to Windward once more. The bans also came through. Fixer, Anvil being banned out on Lockdown. So Talon available, Switchblade available as well, even though we didn't really see it too much. But Fixer, Anvil Okay, I thought I was tripping there for a moment. Thought I saw Kestrel, but it was just all of you tripping because it's actually Anvil. Surprise. Fixer, Anvil being banned. Talk to me, Fawn. What are you thinking going into the lockdown with these bans, with these teams?
Well, considering how last set went, and we're dealing with a situation where Switchblade was banned at first on the same map on Demolition, by the way. And she's open now. All I'm saying is that I imagine we see a Switchblade. Anvil is definitely one of those characters that locks down sites way easier. Hey, I did a pun. I didn't even realize it. That's how you know it's been a long day. Anvil is one of those characters that locks down on lockdown way easier. Bars. I'll be taking my contract soon enough. In terms of making sure that nobody can really push through any choke points or stop. Make sure that nobody can push through any choke points, or make sure that post plant is always the sort of story, right? Post plant, especially when you have an Anvil on your side, is definitely way, way better than a lot of other characters that you can have on your side. Because that's the case, obviously Anvil gets taken out of the fray here. If there's nothing wrong with that barricade, it's hard to stop. It's hard to stop. Once it's down, you're playing a different ball game. Fixer, obviously locked down, long sight lines. Typically, when Phantom, around the time when this game was first coming out, around the time when this game was first being played, you saw Phantom typically be played a lot on this map because of the longer angles. People felt like the sniper was always really strong. But since you have Fixer, you can see through those smokes. It makes it a lot more apparent, a lot more obvious that things can be more dangerous when you don't really have any sort of way to lock out his line of sight, especially on his sniper. So, Dems would be the breaks, I would say. I think that Fixer is a great character, and so is Anvil. But on this map specifically, they become a lot more dangerous because of how the game sort of changes and how you have to mold your composition around them. So,
well, I cannot wait because Beefy Magpie's got some players that we've seen before that have impressed us on console. By the way, the next gen guys being Sinmade, one of them, I believe, if I'm correct, also Kaon, Swamp Outs, and Sniper. I think it's a mixture of PC with controller and some console player. But hey, Beefy Magpie, can they impress once more as they go up against Hefty Lobster? We'll let you know right after this quick break.